What the hell is up, YouTube? It's your boy, Hollywood AJ. I hope you guys had a very, very Merry Christmas. Hope you guys got everything you wanted for Christmas. But most of all, I hope you guys spread the holiday joy. This Christmas came and gone. I got to spend it with my family. It was definitely didn't feel like Christmas. I don't know if it's because in Colorado we're on that California shit. But I'm used to snow. I'm used to a winter wonderland, a white Christmas. I didn't get that this year, so maybe that's why I didn't feel like Christmas. But I hope you guys all had an amazing Christmas and a happy New Year. Don't get too drunk. I hope you guys remember the end of 2021 and leading into 2022 because it's fun. So hope you guys have a happy New Year, and I hope you guys had a Merry Christmas. Now let's get to business. Task at hand. With the COVID-19 pandemic hitting a lot of movies this past year, with the COVID-19 pandemic putting a monkey wrench in a lot of films' plans in production and releasing, we didn't think that we'd get a lot of great movies in 2021. Well, not me. I knew for a fact that we would get some outstanding and stellar films this year, and I thought it was going to be the year for films. I'm like, okay, 2020, it was a mediocre year. Not that much movies came out, but this year was going to be the bounce back year for film, and that's what I'm here to talk about. These are the greatest movies of 2021. So grab your popcorn, do everything you can to just sit down and watch this, because this is a video you do not want to miss. I'm going to start with the movie that completely blew my expectations away, all right? And that is Dune. I thought this was going to be yet another, movie that was going to do good in the box office, but then kind of fade out of the limelight, a la Hunger Games, a la Maze Runner. But this movie was a book adapted into a movie, and I knew it was super good when already they have a first film, and then directly after they're going to have a sequel, all right? It is completely star-studded with my boy Timothée Chalamet, with Jason Momoa, Aquaman. We got Thanos, Josh Brolin. We got Moon Knight, Oscar Isaac. I know I'm comparing the MCU to all these actors that are in here. Zendaya's even in there, but she has a small part. She's going to have a bigger role in the next film. I just thought with the cast, you just could not miss. A cast like that is just truly something that was out of a video game. Like, if you could just pick a perfect film, if you could just pick the actors that you want to put in a perfect film, this is exactly the blueprint that you need to lay out for this film. And like I said, it's already going to have a second film. We got it coming to theaters in October 2023. And just simply the visual effects and the story, it was confusing at first, but when I saw it again, I loved it. But the visual effects and the story behind this film just truly is worthy enough for its own trilogy, its own sequel. And I cannot wait for it to happen. I got a few more times to watch it before this other one comes out, so I'll be looking forward to Dune Part 2. If you are a subscriber to this YouTube channel, then you have seen already my worst movies of 2021. And if you're not subscribed, you definitely need to hit that subscribe button right now, because I post videos that you do not want to miss. But in that video, I said Tom Holland in Chaos Walking was one of the worst movies of 2021. Tom Holland needed to prove his diversity as an actor, and that movie simply wasn't it. I obviously did not see his film Cherry, which came out in July of this year. Not only is Cherry one of the best films of 2021, but probably one of the best films of all time. But that's just in my eyes, okay? Cherry follows a young man who was a college dropout who enlisted into the army as a medic. And after he's seen many traumatizing actions in his time in Iraq, he becomes a victim of PTSD. And not only a victim of PTSD, a victim of addiction, a victim of robbing banks to help his addiction. And he becomes basically lost in trying to figure out his place in this world. It is very raw. And I have to admit, it was so weird to see Tom Holland in a movie like this. He said a lot of cuss words in this film, and I'm like, I don't think I've ever heard Tom Holland cuss in a film, ever. So for him to be in a role completely out of his wheelhouse is truly something spectacular to see. Not only that, but when he's in the army, it has a very long middle scene of him being in the army. It shows a lot of the training regimens that are used in the 1980 film Full Metal Jacket. And that alone will just make a war craze movie veteran just go absolutely bananas. Okay, so Tom Holland definitely proved that his diversity as an actor is widely amazing, is widely astounding. So that is one of the best films of 2021 and one of the best films of all time. Next, I got Free Guy. Now, I'm not a big video game player, but I can tell that this video game hit home with a lot of video game people. You have Ninja, one of the greatest video game players, EA players of all time. All right, there's no debate about that. So for him to be in this film, and not only that, a star-studded cast in Ryan Reynolds, Lil Rel Howery, and Taika Waititi, director of Thor, truly something that was, a lot of people thought it was going to be a great film. Not only was it a great film, it was truly outstanding to see how on a comedy aspect, it turned over into a family-friendly action film. Had a lot of cameos from a lot of other video games and a lot of other movies that you didn't have to be a true video game buff to understand what was going on. And I thought it was one of Ryan Reynolds' best films of his entire career. It had me in stitches. I could not stop laughing. So that film, I didn't think it would be on my list, but Free Guy is definitely one of my all-time favorite films and one of the best films of 2020. I mean, when you have that scene of Captain America just simply watching what is going to happen when Guy tries to take over and stop Bro, I think Bro is his name in the film, and Captain America just looks at his phone, Guy has the shield, Captain America's like, what the shit? That was just truly something funny. So that's on my list, 100%. Next is Wrath of Man. And I know Jason Statham is one of the best action film stars of all time. I know there's other actors out there that can truly hold a candle to him, and you can make the argument are better than him. But Jason Statham, if you want a true action movie, he is the man to get cast for a film. And I was truly excited about this film the moment I saw the preview, and I didn't know what to make of this film. And it took me twice to truly understand what was going on because they were pulling different timelines from Jason Statham and the main protagonist, the antagonist of the film, played by Scott Eastwood and many other actors that are coming up in the world of Hollywood. It is a great action film. It is a great film that possesses high drama, high stake action, and I just couldn't believe how good it was. I mean, I knew it was going to be good, but I didn't think it was going to be that good. So it had to be on my list. I could watch that movie over and over again. And yeah, Wrath of Man, truly one of the best films of 2021. And if it's not on your list, you need to go watch it because you don't know what you're missing. Next, I got James Bond. Now, I didn't get introduced into the James Bond franchise until Skyfall in 2012. And ever since then, I was definitely hooked. It started off with Spectre continuing the franchise and then ending with No Time to Die. Now, it was pushed back. It was supposed to be released in April of 2020. Then it was supposed to be released in November of 2020. Then COVID continued to push that film back to April of 2021. Now, we finally got it in October 2021. And I just have to say, it was definitely worth the wait. I know I can't spoil it, but for it being a grand scheme finale like it was, you just can't help for it to be on this list because No Time to Die has high octane action scenes and it has a great story. It ties in well with the other films, even with Casino Royale back in 2006. Not only that, but it's a perfect swan song for James Bond. I mean, just from the drama aspect to Felix Leiter dying in the film, just everything about that movie was perfect. And it is probably one of the best James Bond films of all time. I mean, just, it had me crying. It had me crying. Perfect swan song for a James Bond film. And who knows who's going to be the next James Bond? I'm not going to get into that because there's many rumors and speculations on who it might be. But that is simply a different conversation for a different day. I know I'm going to be extremely biased right here, but Fast 9 was one of the best films of 2020. I mean, you can't help but to think that this was a film that many people were wondering, will it ever even be released? With the beef that Vin Diesel and The Rock had, will it even go to 9? Shoot, will it even go to 10? Some people are just clamoring for this film, for this franchise, to stop making movies. I'm definitely not one of those people. But it was supposed to come out in 2020. Obviously, COVID pushed it back. We finally got it. And it's supposedly going to be a first prequel to a trilogy on the end of Fast and Furious. I just thought it was good because it had a good twist on, hey, Dominic Toretto not only has a sister, but he has a long-lost brother that he exiled after Jacob Toretto supposedly killed their father. And not only that, Jacob Toretto became one of the most high-level criminal wards in the world. And we all know Dominic Toretto has a thing or two for catching those type of villains. And we finally get to see two dudes from the ghetto, that being Tej Parker and Tyrese Gibson, go into space. A true action scene I did not see coming. Could it have done without that scene? I'll let you be the judge. But overall, I don't think there was about one race in that film. Oh, wait, there was. Young Dominic Toretto between Jacob Toretto. That was, a normal race scene. But to see more of the origin story of the Torettos and how their father got killed and how Jacob and Dom were completely estranged, we got to see just how much this franchise does not have a ceiling, how much this franchise can go, how far it can go. And I think the 10th movie, which comes out in May of 2023, I think the 10th movie will answer a lot of my questions, and I cannot wait. I'm a diehard fan of the franchise, so there was no way this was not going to be on my list. Next, we have City of Lies. Now, this is a film that was supposed to be released in 2018. It didn't get pushed back because of COVID mandates or the pandemic itself. It got pushed back because of studio rights. It got pushed back because of directing rights. It got pushed back because Johnny Depp had some on-set troubles with a few cinematographers. But finally, this movie came out and I was truly excited. It was announced that it was going to be released a week after the trailer dropped. And boy, was that the longest week of my life. This movie is about who shot Tupac Shakur and who shot Biggie Smalls. And if you're subscribed to this channel, you'll see that I am on a sleuthing trial myself on who killed those two guys. But it's just going into the corruption behind the LAPD and how nobody would listen to Russell Poole on how he believed that two cops killed Biggie Smalls and how he himself saw the corruption within the Los Angeles Police Department. It is a good film. It has Johnny Depp and it has Forrest Whitaker, two guys who have already starred in a film together back in Platoon in the 80s. I love this film, and I love everything that has to do with the Tupac and Biggie murder, mainly because it's a huge conspiracy theory. We do not know what happened. So for me to get every angle and every side of the story in every documentary, in every book, in every movie, you best believe I'm going to be sitting there with my popcorn, my notepad, truly trying to solve this murder mystery as hard as Russell Poole was. And it was worth the wait. It felt like man, I didn't want this movie to end because it was just that good. And who knows, maybe this film can one day help us find who tragically killed Biggie Smalls and Tupac Shakur. I want to give you guys some honorable mentions. Not that these movies weren't worthy to be on my list. I mean, you can make that argument, but these movies were good, but not good enough to make it on my list. We got Judas and the Black Messiah, a true good movie. I'm just going to have to watch it again. Then maybe later I'll have to add it onto my list for sure. Then we have The Little Things starring Denzel Washington, Rami Malek, and Jared Leto. All star-studded actors, all Oscar winners. But I felt for the plot, it could have been better, and just the entire movie itself could have been way better. King Richard, the story of Serena and Venus Williams. Will Smith's performance in that film was truly out of this world, out of the park. And all in all, it is one of his best performances of all time in his career. Before I continue with my final pick, please give me a like and subscribe. Comment on what you believe is the best movie of 2021. What are the best movies of 2021? Give me your list. Give me your simple film. And most of all, click that subscribe button for more videos like this, for more movie videos. And I swear, you do not want to miss this. You had to see this coming, right? You had to. With Shang-Chi and Black Widow, sure, those could have been on this list. But this film right here is the best movie of 2021. It is the most highly anticipated film since Avengers Endgame. Spider-Man No Way Home completely blew all of our expectations out of the water. I mean, man, I do not remember that much hype behind the film. And the rumor of Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire being in there, it all gave us a sense of relief that those two were in this film. And if they weren't going to be in this film, it would be the ultimate travesty, not only in MCU, but in film history. And it knocked every expectation out of the park, not only by bringing Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire from their respective universes, but for bringing Doc Ock back, Electro, for bringing Green Goblin back, for bringing Lizard back. Just a lot of villains and a lot of characters that gave us not only a sense of nostalgia, but a sense of new form and a sense of a new wave of action in this film. And we didn't think we were going to get this film, okay? I honestly didn't think we were going to get this film because it was announced, okay, a new Spider-Man movie was going to happen. But a lot of people, I'm sure, were like, yeah, right. Because of COVID, it's not going to happen. Or it is going to happen, but not until 2022 or 2023. We got this film in relatively short time. The trailer broke the internet. The trailer had, I think, 300 million views in 24 hours. It dropped in September, which means we had 3 months of theories and speculation on how this film would be. Of course, it is Peter Parker, aka Tom Holland's swan song. But for him to have 2 good movies this year, it just shows that he's one of the best actors in Hollywood. And not only that, but it already hit $1 billion in the box office, and it's only been out almost 2 weeks. This just shows the love of Spider-Man and the love of the MCU. And it's only going to answer more questions that we have going into the MCU. It's only going to answer more questions that we have about Doctor Strange. It's only going to intrigue our appetite for more MCU projects as the time goes. And I am truly excited. I saw it twice already. And most of all, I think all of us can agree that with director bringing back Sam Raimi's Spider-Man and Webb's Andrew Garfield Spider-Man is just truly better than all the Avengers uniting and fighting Thanos. I know that's a pretty hot take, but I think those 2 Spider-Mans coming back and linking with Tom Holland's Spider-Man is probably one of the best things to ever happen in cinematic history.